I'm here with my wife, and we are talking love, sex, or money. My wife, my queen, my dear. Which one are we talking about today?
I'd love to talk about today about love. I'm so honored to be your wife. I'm so honored to do this with you. I'm amused by you that you went into that experience. You stayed there, you did it, you experienced yourself in depth. And I would love to hear about it. All the juicy details from the soul, all the overcoming struggles, the pain, the joys that you remembered, what came through for you. And I love you so much. We share this.
I love you too, baby. I'll do my best. It's a lot to recount. What juicy details do you want?
I want all the juicy details, but I would love for you to start with why did you decided to go?
Well, you bought me the ticket. You paid for me to go. Obviously, you didn't want me around for a week. I mean,
But you wanted to go. You wanted to go for over 2 years. Like
uh,
I've been trying to get it for you for last Christmas, Christmas before. It's been definitely a production to get you in
I
there.
wanted to go. I wanted to. It just sounded so awful and terrifying. It sounded terrible.
Was there anything within you that it was showing up that was terrifying from the very beginning? Like, what did you expect? What did you think you will meet there? Or what would it be?
Well, I think there was probably two or three big ones for me. I mean, number one, I don't like to be alone for long periods of time. Number two, I operate a lot of businesses, so I felt like it'd be a giant waste of time, right? And there's a lot more money I could make not being there. I'm gonna be away from my family for a long time. That was gonna be uncomfortable. I mean, it just sounds miserable. And I think definitely a fear of mine was like if I'm in this dark place, this cave, all vulnerable by myself, then I'm gonna be taken over by the devil or demons or something, and they're gonna possess me, and I'm gonna come out of the cave like a wild man or something, and my brain's gonna no longer work. I'm gonna lose my mind and fall into some like psychosis or something. That was probably like the deep subconscious fear, I think.
Mm.
But yeah, like at the onset, it was just that just seems very uncomfortable. And there's only two people that I personally know have done that, and we met one other one very briefly, but I don't know her in depth. But the two people that I know that have done it are two of the greatest athletes on earth, Zach Hummel and Colin O'Brady. I mean, these are two people that I look up to, which is rare. Like when I see them, I'm like, what in the world are they doing? You know? How are they doing that? And that's what everyone says about me, but I see that for them. So when they're doing this cave experience, I just thought that was beyond me, beyond like my physical capabilities.
Okay. So did you meet some demons there? No demon. I didn't say causes.
Not really. No, not really. I mean, probably day two or day three, I definitely had the my ego pop up. Like, I can't wait to tell people how hard this is, but it really isn't physically hard. Like, your body's not doing anything. Like I'm not exerting any energy. I tried to work out. I probably did a total of an hour of yoga, like physical yoga, push-ups, squats, but like it's very disorienting. I mean, you can't see anything at all. Pitch black. So standing is hard. Standing on one leg was hard. Doing downward dog was hard. Like walking is hard. It's all I can't do anything that really has any real value. So a lot of times I just laid in the bed and just stared at the ceiling for however long. And that's hard. It's mentally hard. Praying for 12 hours straight is hard. There's just a lot of different hard that I got to experience. And I'd say also around day two or three, I did. I was like, well, let me see if I can get some demons or the devil to come in here because like I'm already here. I'm already fully in it. Like the fear of mind of going into this dark place and being all vulnerable and by myself. I was like, well, let me open myself up to some darkness. Like I'm already in the dark. I'm already in the pit of the beast. Let's see if something cool happens. And so I invited him in. I
That's
was
so fucking crazy.
well, I mean, I would say out loud, I was like, all right, devil, Satan, if you're here, I'm right here.
Hmm.
Like if you've been waiting for me, like if you want to enter my body, like if you wanna come and have a conversation, if you need to battle, if we need to figure this out, like I'm in the pit of the beast. I have wide open, like I'm in the dark of the dark. I was like, where are you at? Nothing. There was no fear, there was no like trembling, there was no worries. And yes, up until that point, I've been hanging out with big guns upstairs a lot. But at the same time, I wanted to experience that. And that's when I started like really falling into like my spiritual understanding, or call it enlightenment or call it whatever. Because I was like, my whole life I've been afraid of the devil. My whole life, right? Darkness is bad, light is good. Like devil bad, God good. My whole life. And I think most people probably have that subconscious diversion, right? Where this is the bad path, this is the good path. Do this and you're good, do that and you're bad. And I'm over here as a good person trying to say, like, where are you at, bad? Like, I'm looking for you. I'm ready. Let's have a conversation. Like, do something. And there was nothing for hours. And I was yelling and screaming and I was enraged. I was like, let's fight. Let's do something. Like, come on. Because I was like, maybe I need to get into a dark energy or something. Maybe I need to stir something up. Just nothing ever happened. And call it protection, call it light, call it whatever. That's when I was just like, what if God is dark? Like we always think God is like this light being, this powerful being, because that's what we have to see. We can only see light. But when we dream, 30% of our life is in the dark. When we're asleep, our eyes are closed, we see dark, we have eye masks on or whatever. I mean, you're in the dark. When it's night, you're in the dark half of the day, approximately, I guess, depending where you're at in the world geographically. So I think the yin and the yang, like one of the big things I saw with my, eyes closed, you don't see anything, but like the patterns, I definitely saw the yin and the yang. And I was like, that's the different colors of the eyes of God. It's not this and this. It's like both. This is the symbol of the universe. This is the symbol of
Mhm.
God, both light and dark. It's the same. It's oneness. There is no separation. And humans created the separation because we were afraid of the dark physically.
Mhm.
800 years ago, you don't have guns and you hear something in the woods and it's a nighttime and there's no moon, you can die. There's tons of tribes in India that get attacked by tigers. There's tribes in Africa that get attacked by lions. Like there are physical animals that can eat humans. Like you're not at the top of the food chain in certain parts of the country. You're at the top of the food chain in Vegas.
Mhm.
Like no one's going to eat you. You can still get attacked by a scorpion or a snake or something, but humans are afraid of dark. And I think that fear over time, over the thousands of years, just kind of translated to darkness is bad, keep the kids away. So we have to tell these stories of of the devil to keep kids away from going into dark caves.
I almost wish there was a different word. Um, and maybe it is English language, also Russian language is all it's like a that similarity to it. But I wonder actually if other languages that don't have this like black and white and light and dark, because here everything is just like dark and light versus I think there are so many parameters to darkness and we just put everything in the one stuff as a bad thing and that's really it, but it's like the womb of a mother is like we all come from the darkness, right? The womb is dark, the creation that we're coming from is where we emerge from the darkness, right? Like that is a space of the creation. We go inside ourselves into our darkness to be revealed the past to be revealed, the next evolution that is possible and available to us. And I don't think just those things need to be called darkness. Right? But we don't have a different word for it. And therefore, like the word darkness is being so convoluted with so many things, and we can't even really explain properly the experience that because we just don't have the proper words to experience it, to describe the experience.
Yeah, it's valid. I mean, like the Inuit people, they have, I think, 40 different, words for snow.
Mm.
But that's because they're around snow a lot,
Yeah,
you know?
makes sense. Yeah.
And
You needed to know what kind of snow they had to survive. Right?
sure, sure. So, I mean, the snow is white, and I'm sure there's different, deeper meanings, but I mean, you have the word light and dark a bunch in the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
But it's
dark
all
magic.
the translation of
It's all
it,
the
right?
translation, totally. Like, I mean, Star Wars, you have the dark side.
Mm-hmm.
That's the bad guy. I mean, so yeah, it transcends most of the Western culture and other English culture or Eastern cultures also.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So you learn that darkness is not devil. You learn that darkness is not dark, right? The darkness is a void.
Darkness is pure.
Darkness is pure. Okay. So what happens in that purity of a darkness?
Stillness. You learn different concepts of time, right? Back to when we sleep. We sleep. We go to sleep. We sleep for 8 hours, but we don't. It doesn't feel like it's 8 hours. Time passes so differently when we're asleep, but the
Mm,
time still passes.
yeah. It's,
Physical time still passes, and I think being in that energy, being unaware of time. That was, when Scott came to feed me. I don't even know a day, but one of the days, one of the times that he visited, he said something like, how's it going? How you feeling? I'm like, I'm just trying to pass the time. One of my answers, like, I'm just sitting here looking at the wall, just trying to pass the time. He offered a cool suggestion. He's like, what if time doesn't pass?
mm.
And then left. He was pretty quick with his words and his counsel. I'm like, all right, well, I guess I'm just gonna sit on that for a day. Like what if time doesn't pass? And I love time. I still do view time as a divine energy. And being in it, I've always kind of seen time as this thing where it exists and I move through it. And for a moment, however long it was, I started feeling as if I was standing still and time was moving through me.
Wow.
And that was the first time in my life I'd kind of seen it differently or felt it differently or been aware of it differently. Like I'm just here as a physical being, and time is so slow. Like you can feel every heartbeat, you can hear everything. There's no sound. So like me blinking my eyes was loud.
Mm.
I could hear my all like little squishes and sounds and everything, right? Um, you could hear so intently. So I got like a different awareness or different perspective of that. Like yeah, like I was a physical being standing still and time was traveling through me. It wasn't passing through me. And I just thought that was a kind of a cool awareness for a period, for a moment. But yeah, time different took different shape.
What did it mean anything to you? Because I know your relationship with time, and I know how much you study time and infinity and timing, and that time, like, I mean, one of your theories that time is God. Like you're very, very connected to time. There is a very special relationship with time that you have. Like having time traveling through you. Was there any other dimension that it was opening up because of that?
No, I didn't get into different dimensions. I never got there.
Okay.
But what I did feel relatively briefly was just probably what Eckhart Tolle would refer to as the now,
Mhm.
like whatever it is. where there's no past and there's no present. I believe I got there for some length of breaths. And it's only happened probably a couple times in my life before, maybe on a long run. The only other time I can clearly remember was like the third time ever doing hot yoga in Nashville, Tennessee. And there was a moment where I had no thought of any kind.
Mm.
And then I was like, did I just think of something? And I was like, shoot, that's a thought. And then boom.
Mm.
But it felt like it was like 20 minutes, probably like 8/10 of a second. But I feel like in the cave, I did actually get to have moments of pure now where there was no it was in those moments where I'm like, time is passing through me. So what if I just go with it so that it doesn't, there is no beginning or end. Me and time move at the exact same time. I was like, if I do that, then I can feel like I'm in the now longer. So there's no future, there's no present, there's no past. There's just stillness and silence. That was really cool.
That's amazing. You also shared with me that at some point, like day two, three, that again, going to the time and space, that you didn't know when whether you were sleeping, dreaming, awake, like everything became like just one state because um I experienced that in my life when I was going through my spiritual awakening and everything. The spirit world actually was just so big and so revealed. So I didn't know whether I'm meditating, whether I was visioning it, whether it was happening in real life or it was happening in a dream world because everything was just happening so big. And it was for like almost 3 months in my life. And then I realized I just cannot operate like that because I didn't know if someone told me something or I actually intuitively knew it about them or if I dreamed about it and this is the situation. So it became it just was completely confusing. And I'm like, how am I supposed to raise a child like that in this like delusional world, being so aware of anything, but not knowing whether it is a physical awareness or it is a spiritual awareness. Yes. Tell me more about that.
Well, it's probably more physical. I mean, one of the physical elements I feel like I have, at least right now, become a lot better at than I was 2 weeks ago, was just being perfectly still.
Mhm.
I got good at that.
I mean, you got back like a Buddha. I'm like, who are you? This is fascinating. Like, I have not, like, there is such a depth of calmness within you,
Very calm.
such a depth of peace within you. So unbothered. You almost like, not almost, like you are observing me and the family, and you're not, you're with us in a love, but like the reactive, the busy, the like it's dissolved.
Yeah, I hope I can hang out with that for a while. It's a very calming effect. So it's 90 hours is so long. It's so long. Oh, it's so long. To just sit there and stare at nothing. It's so long.
I mean, it sounds terrifying to me. I wanted to do it before you went, and then you went, and I lost my shit for those 4 days. Like I went crazy. So, whatever you were going through, I was purging here big time with everyone. I was all the kids, but yeah, it sounds absolutely miserable.
I mean, there was times where it was, and again, the not sleeping, like, I knew I'd be tired, so I'm like, "Okay, I am tired," although I don't know why, because I don't know what time it is. I don't know if I just woke up or not from a 1 hour sleep
Mm.
or a 15-hour sleep. I have no idea. Did I just have a 5-minute nap? Or is it 4 in the morning or 4 in the afternoon? You don't know. And so I'd just be sitting there and just staring and just blinking and then just breathing and going, "Oh, well, I guess I'm just gonna stay up until Scott comes." And there's a few times Scott would jolt me, like, I could hear him come down the stairs and, drop off the food, and I would just be startled. And then I almost rather him just not come. Like next time I might just pack like a bunch of days of food and just keep it.
Mm,
Because there were certainly definitely times where I'm like, I'm just in the zone right now and I don't want to know if it's morning.
mm,
And I'm just having a good time hanging out. Um, because also, yeah, when Scott came, it was like my sometimes, not every time, but my guard would come back up and I would go like, okay, I can't let him know that I'm losing it right now. So like let me be Newsome,
mm,
I didn't want him to like know that it was getting to me because, I'm the toxic positivity guy. And realistically, it didn't break me to the point where I was miserable, like angry at him. But there was just tons of times where I was like, this is such a waste of time sitting here. And anytime I felt that, the goal of the cave for me really, after speaking with one of the therapists named Adrienne, she really helped kind of like embody what I was about to go through. And it was really nice. And she told me, and Scott told me, like, if you have a goal or an intention, let's figure out what is before entering in. And what I wanted to do was know I have a feeling, be perfectly aware of that feeling. Good or bad is irrelevant. This is the emotion. Don't label it as a negative or positive. You have this emotion. Where in my body does that emotion reside? Why do I feel that? What caused it? And do I want to feel it anymore? And be able to go through that entire cycle often
okay.
because I would feel agitated. Okay, why do you feel agitated? Because I feel like I should be doing something. Why do you feel like you should be doing something? Because you are supposed to add value to the world. Why? Says who? What type of value do you have to add? When you add value to the world, where do you feel that in your body? When you feel agitated, where do you feel that in your body? Do you want to feel those two things? What if you didn't have to add value to the world? What if you could just be and everyone would love you? What if you could just exist and you were already enough for 12 hours? It would be that loop where I'm like, now I feel introspective. Why do I feel introspective? Well, because I'm going inside and trying to ask myself these questions. Well, where does that reside? Do I want to feel introspective right now? Or do I not want to? Like, I do want to feel introspective. Why do I want to feel introspective? I want people to like me. Oh, that's interesting. Why do I want people to like me? So that I have value to the world. What,
Did you get into the loop?
not a negative
Was
loop.
it loopy?
No, it
Or
wasn't a
no?
negative loop. I would just play with that emotional cycle. So it was almost like reps. It was almost like working out, or it was just like practice. And I could almost get to the point where I could pinpoint
Mm-hmm.
instantly where do I feel wisdom? Right here, both of my temples. If I feel wise, that's where I feel wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
If I feel introspective, I feel introspective right here. Interesting, right? The third eye. If I'm adding value to the world, where I'm adding value, that's my throat. So throat chakra started opening up. Things in my heart, things in my chest, rage, arms, hands, knuckles. Just so interesting to see how quickly I could start doing it. Because again, what else are you doing? Like that's what everyone's asking. Like, what are you doing all day? All night, all day, all night, all day, all night, all day, all night, all day, all night. I'm like, I don't know, man. Like I'm trying to come up with cool things, I guess.
So what I want to really hear from you, and I'm married to you, so I know you personally. Very, very deep.
I'm glad we're married.
Yes, me too. It's
You're super hot.
I know that you struggle with God for so long. And when you came out from the darkness and you called me and you cried and it felt like your ego was completely diluted. It didn't exist anymore. And you were healed. You healed that relationship. You healed that pain. I want to know what happened there.
It wasn't an exact moment, but there was a few, or a few that I became aware of. So one of the loops of that, like emotional understanding internally was, why do I exist? Like, what do people exist for? Why do I exist? And it was just this really cool moment of, I wouldn't call it awareness, I wouldn't call it a voice, but I could really feel like there was a presence of some kind of some, call it a guide, I don't know. But I could almost feel like I could almost see like the Dalai Lama or Gandhi or something. It was like a Indian male energy figure.
You want to go to India now?
No, I don't. I still don't want to go to India. There's like Indian male energy figure. It's hard to explain. I have no idea what day or time it was, but it was like this, so crystal clear. What if you could fully remove your ego? What would happen?
Mm.
I was like, I don't know. That's terrifying. Like, I don't want to remove my ego, because if I remove my ego, that's like, that's who I am, you know? And the energy was like, that's who you are on earth, you know? Like, that's what the earth is for. To be in this spirit world, you have to operate at a different frequency. I was like, okay, well, what frequency is that? Like, I don't know what that is. And it was like this, again, like this pull of this very interesting, I guess, quote. I haven't even dug down into it yet, but it was like, if you name and understand your ego, you can remove it from your life forever,
Mm.
or until you no longer want it, or until no longer serves you. Once you know what that ego is and you actually understand it and you name it, it then starts losing power over you.
That's so profound.
So I started playing into that world a little bit. I started just having this conversation with whoever I'm having conversation with. I don't know. No one, probably, maybe someone. I'm having this relatively deep conversation. And again, I just like hear or get this understanding or just get this knowledge bomb of like, the point of existing on earth is to conquer and to be a full embodiment of self, of like,
Mm.
self and ego are separated, spirit. Why you do exist on a physical plane and why you exist on a metaphysical plane. And if you can connect those two, that alignment is the self. That's where you become fully complete. And it was just like this. When you do that, you'll know who I am. I was like, I don't know if I want to do that because Earth's really cool. Like, am I gonna die if I do that? It was like, no, you'll live more than you've ever lived. I was like, cool, let's do that. Let's live more than I've ever lived. I would like to look forward to doing that. And I just really did. I felt this separation just start to happen. And I could almost feel it and I could almost see it in front of me, just like disassembling. And the disassembling was the physical body of me that had existed, that had the definitions and the beliefs and the awareness of who God was. I got to look at that version of me and decide if I wanted to keep it. And I gave it gratitude and just simply said, I don't want that version anymore. And so it just disappeared into darkness. And then everything was very easy after that. Cave experience was very easy. I just felt this calmness. I felt this relief. And I felt like I finally actually met God. And the God I was meeting was the separation of my ego from my true self, from the true essence of my existence, which is to be authentically, fully, 100% me, the representation of God on earth. I think that's what everyone wants. I've always my whole life I've always wanted that. And I just had to have that separation for whatever period of time it was. And knowing that version and knowing that how that version existed was just really beautiful. And it felt really peaceful.
When you called me, you said, I'm anointed. Everything always worked hard for me. Where did that realization came from?
It's funny, that word's plagued me for a long time. Because in the Jehovah's Witness organization, to be anointed is a very interesting word that essentially means like they have this belief, I guess, of there's gonna be 144,000 people, and those 144,000 people will serve as angels in heaven, overlooking the earth that is in a paradise. So, all the people that live on earth in this paradisiac conditions will be here and they'll be overlooked and taken care of and represented and loved on by the 144,000. These 144,000 become anointed.
Mm.
And they become anointed, although no one knows how and no one ever mentioned it. In the organization, it was always you'll just know. You'll just know. And every single time like someone would become anointed and they would just know, I'd always be like, really, that person? Interesting. And I never felt anointed. And I was okay with that. I was totally okay with that. And the moment I felt it in the cave moment was, and one of our friends and one of my clients, Spencer, gave me this gift. He told me that we were hiking one day, and I told him I always struggled seeing angels. And he goes, "Why would angels look like to you?" And I was like, "White dudes with beards and a sword and like wings." He's like, "What if angels were like your dead relatives?" I was like, "Yeah, what if they were?" Like, that's
Love that.
thanks, Spencer. Like, are they? I don't know. Sounds good. So, like, cool. Dead relatives are some of my angels. Dope. Made it a lot easier. Well, there was definitely a time closer to I don't know. Closer to the end. I had been there for a long while at this point. I'm sitting on the bed, I'm sitting upright, and I see in front of me, pretty visually, a red ring. I mean, obviously, like this is where my conscious brain and my subconscious brain keep yelling at each other because my conscious brain is like, we're not actually seeing it, right? Like it's just a hallucination. My conscious brain trying to figure out all the. I'm aware that I'm hallucinating, but I'm like, but I fucking see this, dude. So just chill, conscious brain. Like whatever is happening, I see it. Although it could be hallucination. Maybe hallucinations are dreams, right? Am I awake? Am I asleep? I don't know. That was one of these moments. And I saw this red ring, pretty large ring, and I saw thousands of faces looking at me.
Mm.
I saw thousands of faces, and they just kept saying the word anointed over and over. And I don't know if it was minutes or hours, but that's when I was just like, they just kept saying that over and over. And that's when, I started doing my loop of, well, why me? Like, why? I've never felt anointed before. This is a new emotion. If I had to feel anointed, where do I feel anointed? Right here. I was like, oh, wow, interesting. The crown, right? The crown chakra. I was like, that's fascinating. Okay, do I want to feel anointed? I was like, I don't know. That's kind of terrifying. That makes me feel like I'm on some type of pedestal. I was like, that makes me feel like people would view me differently. And, I started going down that loop of just the emotional, trying to understand like why this word, what what emotion is attached to that word, like what reverence is important to you. And essentially I got to the realization, to the understanding that the anointment is for me to just know that my life is special. To just simply know that my life is special. It gives me joy and happiness to be fully aware that I was picked, chosen, and protected my whole life. And it brought me to so many realizations. I'm like, could have died then, could have died then, could have died then. I had like 15 different situations where I could have died. Just being stupid as a 15-year-old, 16-year-old, 17-year-old, 18-year-old, 20-year-old, 21-year-old, 22-year-old, 23-year-old.
15 to 37. Okay.
Yeah. Tons of times where I'm like, probably shouldn't have climbed that. Probably shouldn't have jumped out of that tree. Probably shouldn't have done that. Hmm. Cool. A lot of times where I could have died unintentionally or intentionally, my massive drugs that I fell into, I was like, that could have killed a lot of people.
Mhm.
I mean, I think my heartbeat for like 3 days was like 280. My heart was being 280 beats a minute, like a high elevated of heart rate, all kinds of things. And what was cool is when I had my really big fall off my, proverbial cliff in 2018, October 2018, all the fear that the plant medicines gave me, the revealing of what needed to be healed, I do feel like I was able to heal every one of those random diatribes of the falling into the loops and the fear and the panic and the I was able to heal every one of them in the cave.
Wow. I was going to ask you, like, if that experience showed up for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
In a great way. In a
Okay.
great way. Because I'm like, I wanted it to show up.
Okay.
I'm like, I want the panic attack. I want the heartbeat. I want to fall into the loop so that I can go in and actually live in it and heal from it a lot more and heal through certain moments and see the people and see the faces and see the fear and see the panic and see the death and see the God and see the devil and see all them and be with them and just experience the total absolute breakdown of everything that's physical and just bring it into darkness
Mm-hmm.
because I was trying to bring it into light for so long and it just didn't work for me. But bringing it into darkness was very healing and very beautiful and very powerful. And yeah, I was able to work through a lot of those things. But the anointed feeling was a big one. The anointed essentially of like your life is powerful, your life is special. It doesn't mean that it's more special than other people's. It means that your life is special. Treat it as such.
Amen.
Be aware and understand and be cognizant that yeah, you are protected. And you're gonna be protected for a reason. It doesn't mean that you need to abuse it, but just simply know that you are protected, you are powerful, and I have a gift. And it's like, are you gonna use the gift that I gave you? And that's when my throat started really opening up and becoming wide open and just able to speak with so much reverence. And it was fascinating because also right before I went to the cave and had this really cool experience, the couple that we met this morning, Shirley came up to me and she's uh, very spiritual, very religious, loves God, the whole thing. And she came up to me also and was like, you were going to find your anointment in the cave.
Mm. Okay.
Which is why I got on a phone call with them at 6 a.m. this morning because I was
I
like,
found it.
all right, I don't know why you threw out that word. I was like, that's a very interesting word for you to use for me. And I didn't even know what it meant. And I was like, cool, whatever you say, Shirley. And then, yeah, I definitely had a very, very cool moment. So that's kind of how that transpired.
I been told this morning by Team Love that you received a gift to see congruence in people, and it's going to be immediate for you from now on. And that for the next evolution where you walk and you will just see it right away. You'll know exactly what the people in your life that have stayed with goal and how to be with everyone. Incongruence in people.
Well, me or you?
You.
Oh,
Yeah. But that's what opened up for you in there. Ways and incongruence in anyone that you interact with, you'll see it right away.
yeah. I'm glad you told me that. I mean, I've felt that on 3 or 4 different occasions just the last 5 days.
Mm-hmm.
I'd have someone message me or something. I'm like, I have no interest even talking to you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I told 3 people that. I've never said that before in my whole life.
Mm-hmm. Like
Like,
it opened for you
very
having
quickly. I was
communication.
like, I don't know why I'm talking to you. I have no interest talking to you.
Yeah.
Just hung up the phone.
Wow. That's really not like Jeremy
I
Newman.
know.
Like you would be,
I don't.
you would choose
I would choose inconvenience over someone else's
not liking.
not liking me, but now
Yeah.
I'm like, I really do not give a single fuck.
Wow. Incredible. That's a whole other person.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you told me that because yeah, the incongruency, like it makes sense, and I think it's just trusting the intuition.
Mhm.
Because again, in that moment, I start realizing, or in those moments or in those hours, I start realizing who is important to me, who has stood by me, who cares for me. Again, sending a bunch of text messages when I get out of anyone that has or is or did create a resistance in me, however much. I wanted to let them know that I released that. That thank you for being in my life. You can release whatever change you have on me or whatever change you have on yourself. Love you so much.
Did you send these messages
I did all of
to
them,
all of
and
you, all business partners,
yeah,
all
and
people that
I
hurt
did,
you?
I did, and I said the divine in me salutes the divine in you, and enjoy your life. And I just felt like that was really powerful. I had a few other business partners I had to call and say yes, no, don't do this, do this. And I was just given very, very, very specific instructions, and I've just followed through with every single one of them.
So my final question. Presidency. I feel like that intention really got revealed and healed itself even before you got in. It got like solidified in a way, but I wonder what took place. Did you even take it in there? And what opened up for you? What opened up with a vision? What opened up with that knowing?
I saw myself so clearly being the president. It's insane. So clearly. And very, 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 very specific instructions. I cannot do it without my ego. So I will have to choose if I want to live. It is my ego's and soul's purpose to do that. But my soul cannot do it without my ego. And the only question I have to decide is how long can I stay in my pure soul spirit and have no ego, no attachment, no craving, and no need? And I was given the tasks of doing a few things, most specifically, blowing up on social media, becoming an actual legitimate large bestseller, and really getting viably large attention in a large container in my soul spirit. And God told me, if you cannot do it in your soul spirit, you will fail. And your ego will eat you and you will lose. But if you can pull off bigness and largeness and scale, staying in your spirit, then it will be yours. So that's gonna be the test. So I got a couple of years. I gotta work on this. But the focus for the presidency is it's not presidency, it's visibility and it's family and it's the tying of all of it together. Business, family, travel, intention, clarity, connectness, vulnerability, certainty, directness, knowledge, courage, power, decision making, confrontational ability, intuition, blending all of those things together and becoming massive and staying in my spirit. And if I can do that, I will get the presidency. I can get the presidency instantly if my ego is involved,
But it's not going to last.
but it won't last. I will crumble. It, something will happen.
Mhm.
And I got shown exactly the four things. I was like, show me how I lose my life, not physical life, but show me how I lose you, show me how I lose my kids, show me how I get trapped into the system. I got shown the exact way. If my ego is involved, I know exactly how I win the presidency and lose my life. So I know that outcome. I've seen it. And this is the way I prefer to do it. And so it's available to me. This is a certainty and this is not certain. And
I've been so praying for the third way to appear for you for so long. I knew it existed. I wanted you to see it.
It exists, but I have to do it first.
Yes. Because you need to know within yourself that that is something that you can do and you can sustain.
Yeah, it's the sustaining of it. It's the keeping of it. It is the practices, the time, the transcendence, and for everyone watching, I mean, I'm sure like it was a gift given to me. It was a talent, a treasure, a vision to become the president. And obviously, there's so many people that know how challenging it's going to be, but the challenge for me is not if I need to be or if I can be. That's not the challenge. Meaning, I have one of those four ways. I know what apple to bite and who to be fed from to be president in 4 years. I know exactly who I need to ask and who I need to sell my soul to. I already know, right? It's not a person, it's just an openness.
Yeah.
It's a, um, what's the word? A corruptness that I can just allow. If I allow my ego to be the biggest part of me, I can become president. And I'll be a very, very good president. I'll be very good, but I will lose my life to it. I'll have to change who I am now. And that's, it's fascinating, but to the same degree, I know that it exists and it's going to require other people that are very close to me in my life, AKA you as well, to all of us to kind of step up and rise in this incredibly large conscious awakening, conscious awareness. And it's going to be required everyone on my team to be big. And it's going to require incredible communication skills on my part and vulnerability and continually using my intuition and my alignment principles and like and certain knowingness.
So how can I support you
Mhm.
in this? And also maybe how others that are watching right now that love you, they care for you, how can they support you in this? In staying in this purification and staying in this energy and allowing your soul to lead for the next 4 years into this bigness.
Yeah, and that's the other fun part is, stepping into the bigness, into the soul, into the spirit of me and allowing that to happen. It probably is going to take a little bit longer than I want it to, and I'm fine with that, right? I was told that it's probably going to take a little bit longer, and that's when I was like, he's like, God was like, "Are you comfortable with it taking longer than you want to?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm sitting here in this floor for 4 hours. I'm pretty okay with it. Pretty okay with stillness and waiting." And for anyone watching and for you and for myself, it's an asking. Ask and you shall receive. Everyone around me, yourself included, myself included, we're trying to think and solve.
Mm.
That's not what's going to do it. Who do I need to meet? Show me the way. What do I need to do? Show me the exact sign that I need. Allow me to feel, know, see, and understand where I need to go today. Show me. That is my ask of you. Ask, and we shall receive. Seek, and it will be given to you. So what do you need to do? So for everyone watching, like, we have to ask. We have to ask for direction. We have to ask for insight. We have to ask for connections. We have to ask of like where and who and why and when and what. And I need to write my book this year. Um, I'm going to carve out some time to do it. It's going to happen extremely quick. I got my title, I got the cover, another message, and that's going to be my opportunity to really, really shine a beautiful light on the type of president that I want to be, on the type of message I want to give this country. And I know people need it and they want it. It's going to be beautiful.
Yes, it will.
Love you, my queen.
Any final words that you want to share with people?
Final words. No final words. Just appreciate life so immensely. so vividly. Today I lost someone really close to me, and I'm excited to connect with his energy and connect with his spirit. And I want to continue finding ways, because when people say like have gratitude or have appreciation or have affection, it's like, yeah, I get that, but how can we do it in such a way that it becomes an all-consuming moment where you feel no other emotion? I want to feel so much gratitude now that this moment becomes a core memory. That this moment is something that in 15 years I can reflect back on and go, I was there at that moment, fully present, fully dialed in. I want to become better and bigger in those energies, because it's just so remarkable, how long life is, and how we all know that it's an end. It's a very long end. And if my life is 80 years old, I'm already halfway through. My life physically on this earth is going to end, and so is yours. And it's just incredible. The ability for all of us to know that, and to not be as big as humanly possible, because we are going to die. So being big, when I say being big, like having big gratitude,
Mhm.
having big appreciation, what does that actually look like? In day-to-day conversations with your friends, with your business partners, with who you're like, how can you give even more bigger appreciation and gratitude with your kids, with your wife? It's gonna be a beautiful journey, and it was an amazing experience. And I appreciate you all asking for this. This is this was by request. It's our first time doing like the in-home podcast thing, and I hope you enjoyed it. We all care for you so much, and thank you for following us on our journey, and thank you for loving us and for supporting us.
Love and blessings.